Hi, I'm Mike. You may need to replace the switch in your GE washer model. If you're noticing when you shut the door on your washer that it's not working due to the door not being locked. For this repair, you'll need a set of channel locks, a 1/4" nut driver, a flathead screwdriver, a pair of wire cutters, a box cutter, a pair of needle nose pliers, 2 putty knives, and 2 wire nuts. Before doing any repairs, completely disconnect your appliance from its power source. To begin our repair, we're going to disconnect the main water supply from the washer. Next, using 1/4" nut driver, we're going to unscrew the screws that hold in the front panel assembly and the back panel assembly. Next, we're going to lift up on the front panel assembly and just slide it to the left. And we're going to pop it out just like that. And next, we're going to disconnect any wires to the main control board. And we're going to remove this front panel assembly out of the way. Next, we're going to remove the front panel of the washer. Using 2 putty knives, we're just going to lock into the locks. We're going to pop that front panel out. I'm just going to lift up and remove that front panel. After that front panel has been removed, next we're going to undo the screws that is holding the top of the washer to the frame of the washer. So next we're just going to pull the top of the washer just a little loose. Next we're going to open up the door. The lid switch assembly is going to be located right here. In order to remove it from this panel, we're going to have to lift up. So we're just going to lift up, and using a flathead screwdriver, we're just going to push on the switch clip. And we're going to push it through and slide it out. And we're going to slide it through this top panel. And next we're just going to remove the top of the washer. Next, using a pair of needle nose pliers, we're just going to press down on this wire harness right here and push it through. This way it's easier for us to get access to the lid switch. And next, using a pair of wire cutters, we're going to cut the wires to the lid switch as close as we can to the switch. Just like that. Next, grab your new OEM replacement door switch. If you don't have one of these door switches already, you can buy one on one of our online stores. We're going to take our new switch and we're going to have to cut the wires on the switch in order to fit properly inside of the door and also be connected to the old wires. So what I recommend is that you cut the wires long enough. This way you have room for error. So using our wire cutters, we're going to cut both wires on the switch. So next, what we're going to have to do is remove this electrical tape, and we're going to do that by using a box cutter. Now you may not need to do this, so just keep that in mind. Both wires are visible on both the old wires and the new switch. Next, we're going to take our wire strippers, and we're going to strip about 1/4" inch off of each wire, both old and new. Next, we're going to attach the switch to the old wires. So I'm going to take my gloves off for this one. If you're having trouble bending the copper together on the wires, I recommend that you do that as well. We're just going to twist the wires together using a wire nut. Just going to screw that on there. And the same thing for this wire. We're going to twist the copper together and using a wire nut, screw that on there. This way the wires don't come apart. So once you check to make sure the wire nuts are secure, the switch won't be moving out of place. So next I'm going to strap on my gloves again, and we're just going to put this wire harness back into place. Next we're going to grab the top of the washer, and we're just going to set it into position. So we're just going to lift up, and we're going to grab our switch, and we're going to slide it through the top just like that, slide it in, and lock it into position. Next we're going to adjust the top of the washer so it fits into place. So next we're going to screw the top of the washer back into place. So next we're going to set in the front panel and just lock it in. So next we're going to reattach the wires to the main control board on the display assembly. Once all the wires have been reconnected, next we're going to slide the display assembly and lock it in. So next we're just going to replace the screws that we took out previously to lock the back panel and the display panel together. So next we're going to connect our water inlet hoses. And once both hoses are secure, your repair is complete. Finally, don't forget to plug in your appliance. Thanks for watching our video. Please like, comment, or share. And if you liked our video, please subscribe down below.